working on it?
I've been in here now for about 4 weeks. Basically boarding and plastering.
Tough work?
Yeah, very tough work, yeah.
Jonathan Skelton moved into plastering after he lost his job when the SSI steelworks closed at Redcar.
When I was employed at SSI, you didn't have to worry, you had a regular wage. Now, because you've got to look for work, it's a lot more difficult. My wife works, but I've got 2 kids to support as well, you know, so you're continually worrying about it, money. I'll go without if it means my kids haven't.
Newsnight first met Mr Skelton in a classroom just before the referendum. In amongst the younger students, he and a group of redundant steelworkers were being retrained. All of them supported Brexit.
How many of you are thinking of voting out?
According to George Osborne, we're supposed to be in a depression now, not a recession, a depression. You know, all these scaremongering that went on before Brexit, the country's thriving as far as I can see.
In 2017, the OBR forecast growth to slow to 1.4%.
This radio's usually tuned to music, but today we turned it to politics.
All of a sudden they can produce billions and billions of pounds when one minute they're telling us they've got no money to do anything with, and then they can invest £23 billion in something. I mean, what do they take us for, fools?
The stark predictions on the cost of Brexit fall on deaf ears here. But good news for the Conservatives. Jeremy Corbyn and his team aren't popular with this one-time Labour voter.
And I'll never vote Labour again as long as they're in charge.
And so if Theresa May shows you that she's thinking of you,
Yeah.
do you think you could go her way?
Yes. 100%. And I didn't think I'd ever say that.
Even in a place traditionally considered Labour's heartland, there are seats the Conservatives want to win. One of the Middlesbrough constituencies is high on the party's target list for the next general election. It's voters here the government needs to convince if it wants a real majority next time.
Well, the end of the rainbow was right over Redcar, and my thought was Redcar needs a pot of gold. Salt Ben and Bloom is a volunteer group. We've taken on many of the gardens that the council used to do.
In a region hard hit by cuts to public services, the Chancellor today talked up job creation in the North East, but that hasn't filtered through round here.
There are people who are really struggling because of there are few jobs. A lot of them are part-time jobs, and a lot of them are low-paid jobs. They're not permanent jobs either.
So when you saw Theresa May on the steps of Downing Street or heard what she said, did you believe her?
I wanted to believe her, but the people of the North East believe that we're a neglected area, and Teesside especially feels that.
Who doesn't like hitting people with swords, to be honest? I enjoy it because it keeps me fit.
At Teesside Fencing Club, there are no cuts, strictly foil fencing here. The Chancellor talked of a resilient economy, despite the gloomy debt forecasts. But here, uncertainty is hitting home.
A bit concerned about my job. There's cuts coming in where I work. They are very focused on kind of saving money because the income coming in has started to decline. We haven't noticed a massive drop yet, but it does seem to be kind of dropping. The freeze on petrol duty was a good idea. I think it'll help people. It'll help kind of stabilise the kind of slight increase in costs that we're starting to see come through on supermarkets and the luxuries and stuff like that.
I've been piercing for about 10 years now. Absolutely love it. I can't ever see myself having another job. For me, it's making someone happier in their own skin than they were before. It's so much fun.
Kim Hutchinson works at Skins and Needles Tattoo Studio in Middlesbrough. Like many of the artists in this clearly booming industry, she's self-employed, and it's not easy. So the Conservatives' latest attempt to target the just about managing, as they've dubbed them, resonates with her.
I think the Jams thing's quite accurate. Not struggling, but, you know, not rolling in it. I think for a lot of people, we're in a bit of an uncertain time. So while people may feel I'm comfortable right now, but I don't know what's going to happen next month. Brexit has a lot to do with it. The exchange rate has made a huge impact on me. I'm self-employed. I buy a lot of things, body jewellery mainly, from America, from Europe. We are all keeping such a close check on exchange rates. We're trying to look for a slight drop in the exchange rate before we place an order, so we can save a little bit that way.
To be a world leader in 5G. That means a full five.
Back at the building site, Jonathan Skelton's endured almost an hour of financial announcements.
So
Can
we
we
will
get
invest
3G?
over £1 billion
And then
in our
5G?
digital infrastructure.
But Brexit and the debt forecasts don't worry him.
Because we're already in massive debt anyway.
But we're going to get in bigger debt.
Well, what difference is it going to make to us then? It's not going to make any difference. We knew it was going to be a long, drawn-out process.
As for the notion that the Brexit debt could cost almost the same as the amount the Leave campaign claimed we could get back and put into the NHS,
If we'd have stayed in the EU, we'd have continued to pay 350 million for X amount of years, a lot longer than what it's going to take to get over this 300 million. I think it's a small price to pay, to be honest with you, till we get back on our feet. We're a resilient country, we're resilient people. We'll get there, we'll fight, we always do. We're British.